Hello, so I thought I'd use this video just to show you some of the tips and tricks of views and different ways to view Do More Designer, some of the toolbars and things like that. And then one of the ways to, if you've only got a single display, single screen, to be able to view your program that you've written and the simulator push buttons and the indicator lights on that simulator. So first of all, some of the questions I get is that this toolbar along the bottom is not there, and so one of the things I just wanted to show you is how to get that if you don't have it, is to go into View and then go into Toolbars, and the bottom one there is known as the ladder bar. So if I click that off, then it goes away. So if I want that back, View and Toolbars and go to ladder, and so this just helps you with some of your shortcuts. There you can see which buttons you press to get some of your shortcuts there. Shortcuts are also listed here in the instruction toolbox. Now if that's missing here, because you can close that and all of a sudden you don't see it anymore, then you just go down to instruction toolbox, bottom left hand corner, pop that up there, and then you can hit the pin there. And if you hit that, then oftentimes you can just go to this sidebar here and it'll pop it back out. Okay, so this, now it's tacked there, and then you can hit auto hide and it goes away there, and then you can tack it so it stays in place and you don't have to worry about that. Same thing here, you can close this project browser window out by just Xing that, and then there's behind there's the launch pad. You can click that out and then you get a larger screen here, which I'm using here. Makes it a little bit easier to see what I'm working on in this particular project here. This is a drum, and this is kind of like the little cogs on a music box player, and so this indicates the order that my lights are going to flash through on my simulator, and I'll show you that when we get to that. So now that I've taken that instruction box over here out, then I can put it back in if I want to, Launchpad. So again, a lot of things that you're looking for might be in the view, so just take a look at that. So you got the start page, Launchpad. Those are the kinds of things I don't necessarily need, and right now I'm not going to use this Launchpad because I want to move this over. And then I'll close this as well, because what I want to do now is make it so that I can view my simulator and my project at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button up here to restore down so that it's a bit smaller, and then I'm going to open up my Do More simulator Launchpad, and then I'm just going to grab it at the top here and I'm going to slide it over as far as I possibly can while still being able to see the lights. Okay, so for most of our projects we're just using the 16 digital and 16 digital inputs and 16 digital outputs. If you go over here, this is where your analogs would be, so you could slide these over and give you an analog reading, but unless you're using the analogs, we don't really need that. And then it gives you your C bits here, your internal bits, plus you can see what's happening with your counters, and you can also see what's happening with your timers. So again, you can use that. So we've got the simulator open. I'll just get this squared up here, and then if I want to see more of it, I'll just open it up and drag it down here. So now I can actually see everything that's going on with this program, and pretty much got everything there. I guess I don't have it all completely, but for the most part it's there. I probably could just make it a little bit bigger and then you can see the rest of the program, but unfortunately for this drum, it's so large as far as its dialog box goes, it makes it a little difficult, but anyway, you'll get the idea. I'll just move this over a bit. If you don't have them overlapping each other, when you click on one, it doesn't close the other one or minimize the other one. If you have them clicking like this, it'll put one over top of the other, which I guess wouldn't necessarily be that bad in this case, as long as I get it into the run mode here. And then I could move this one over here so that I can actually see everything that's going on here. And what I will do now is take a look at my program, and to get this drum started and roll through all my lights, I'm going to start it with using the point XO, the digital input XO, and I'll get that going here. And then you can just follow the logic through, and you can actually see it actually progressing through there. And then you can see your digital outputs going here. So just a really simple little program. It doesn't do much. This point here is our last point in our terminal, which is CO, which tells it to reset, and then it just starts back up over at Y0 and goes through the lights there. If you don't have that in there, it's going to just stop when it gets to the last light, but that makes it reset. Okay, so if I turn XO off or open up that switch, then it stops at the last light that it was on, and you can actually use X1 to jog through the sequence. So if I jog through it, I can just hit X1, it'll go to the next one, hit it again, it goes to the last one, and then moves over, resets to Y0, Y1, and so it's just jogging through. So that's just how that works. But what I was actually more trying to show with this video is the fact that you can do some things that make it so that on your program, if you minimize it, get rid of the extra windows like the instruction toolbox and the launch pad and stuff that you don't need, you can actually minimize your window to something like that, and then you can put your Do More Designer, move it over to the right so that you're just basically seeing this portion of the screen, and you'll get for most programs that we write in this course, there won't be any issue with stuff going off the right edge of the screen, so you should be safe with that. But it's just a nice way to have both screens up so that you can kind of see what's going on in both your program and in the outputs on the simulator, or any digital internal bits or anything on the counters and timers, which is really handy for all of the programs that we're going to be doing for this course. Okay, I hope that helps, and we'll see you in the next video.